What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. We're talking about a couple different things today, and it directly relates to my clients and questions that I get all the time from people that hire me, and even people that just inquire. So it's not even just about, helping my clients. Let's help everybody out here. The first thing we're going to talk about is the difference between a cutting program and a muscle building program, or a lean bulk, so to speak. Now, there is a dirty bulk, quote unquote, called dirty bulk, which you eat a lot of junk food and just try to jam in the calories, and usually wind up getting pretty fat with it, and then you get to diet all the fat off later on. But then you have the quote unquote lean bulk, where you're trying to gain just lean mass and not very much fat. Now, the difference between a cutting diet and a bulking diet, there's two things, okay? One, it's not the training, okay? Training does not change. No matter what you're doing, you are trying to either build muscle or maintain muscle at the very least while you're dieting. And when you're bulking, you're trying to gain muscle. Now, you should always be trying to gain muscle. You should never be trying to lose muscle. So obviously, if there's a way to train to gain muscle, that's what you do. Okay, I think a lot of people think that, okay, well, you do, this is old school bro shit. You do low reps when you're trying to build muscle, and then you jump up to sets and do supersets and high reps when you're trying to get lean. And what happens is they wind up losing a shit ton of muscle. Because what it really takes to maintain that muscle is the same thing that built it in the first place, the heavy training in the recovery. So now, people will be like, well, what program do you think I should do? And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? I want to get lean. All right, so we do this. And then they come out of it and they say, well, I want to do some kind of, bulk out of it. Now, after the diet, if they've dieted down like for a show or something, you have the option to do like an anabolic rebound. You have the option to reverse diet. But all those things that I'm talking about are changes in the diet. They're not the training. Okay, the training goes back to the same thing. And I got people like, when should I switch up the exercises? Never. Okay, when you're fucking training, you have a bench press. What are you going to do? Flies? Fine, go do flies. You're going to do dumbbell bench presses? Fine. They're all going to fucking work the same. It's all the same range of motion from your fucking shoulder to your elbow, pushing, whether you're doing a fly, a press, it doesn't matter. It's all the same movement. It just feels a little bit different based on the joint and not the muscle itself. Now, there are also different things like dumbbell flies are going to be different than dumbbell presses because of the way gravity works. The dumbbells go up and down. And you're trying to arc with a fly. It's not going to feel the same as a press. So people think, oh, it works different areas of the muscle. No, it just goes through a different range of motion through space that makes it feel different on the joints themselves in general. Like a cable crossover now, because you have the constant tension on the muscle, pulls it in certain areas where it doesn't on a fly because the dumbbell goes straight up and down. It doesn't work on an arc. So, you see, training for bulking and training for dieting, same fucking training. Hard as you can, heavy as you can. Try to maintain your strength, if you're dieting, but you try to increase strength, or your strength should increase as you're bulking anyways. Now, the other aspect of it is cardio. So, if you're bulking, sometimes you're not going to need to do cardio. Okay, if you're someone who doesn't put on muscle very easy, you're probably not going to want to be burning those extra calories. You're probably going to want to make sure that you're using everything that you put in your body. So you may not be doing any cardio at all. You may be doing a little bit of cardio. Now, some people, and this is dependent on the individual, cardio can actually increase the use of protein, increase the protein synthesis. It actually makes the body more efficient at using protein. Other people don't have to do it. It just depends. It's the weirdest thing, and I've seen it throughout the years. Some guys do cardio every other day, 3 times a week, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm going to do that too. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, my strength gains start going down, and I'm like, why the fuck is this happening? I stop, and all of a sudden they went back up. Because when I was younger, now I have an adult metabolism, which is actually different than when you're younger. When I was younger, I had a very fast metabolism. It was very hard for me to gain weight. But the guy that I was working out with, he gained weight very easily. So for him, he had to do those every other day of cardio, helped him utilize the proteins better and utilize the fats and keep himself a little bit leaner, but he still gained too. So it's very independent on the individual, but if you're dieting or you're bulking, the workout is pretty much going to be the same. You're always trying to increase your weight to trying to maintain or gain muscle mass. And the diet and the cardio is what has to be adjusted. Now, you only have those 3 things. We talk about it for Bios3. Training, cardio, and diet. Those are the 3 things that you adjust. It's not a shit ton of stuff. But if you have the wrong combination, you're fucked. I mean, you see your gains go out the window. You see your results come to a fucking complete screeching halt. Like, it has to be done the right way. The other thing we wanted to talk today about was the pre- and post-workout meal. Now, again, you guys know that I'm very bro. I'm part bro. I mean, honestly, I'm part science too. I like the science stuff. A lot of it I don't understand, but some of it I do grasp the concepts very well, actually better than some of the other people out there who think they grasp it, which is interesting. Because when I fire back at them, they don't have an answer for some of the things that I say, and that's straight from a textbook, literally out of a textbook. So if they don't know the textbook, then, I find that kind of interesting. That's a whole other thing. But the pre and post workout meal, I don't feel, whether you eat 2 hours, an hour, 3 hours, I don't really think it makes a real big difference. I think it's more preference than energy production wise for that pre-workout meal. In the post-workout meal, I all the time get people going, well, I'm looking at their thing and I said, what the fuck is going on? Something's wrong here. Give me a rundown on what you do. And then they're all like, well, I have a post-workout shake. And I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck? Well, yeah, you're supposed to have a post-workout shake. Who the fuck said post-workout shake? Where did you see post-workout shake on there? Did you count those calories in there? No. You didn't count them. So there's your fucking issue. Like, people think that pre- and post-workout nutrition doesn't count for the rest of the day. They think, oh, it's just, I'm going to use this. But no, you very well could eat 3 hours before your workout, have the same fucking workout. Some people eat an hour, some people a half hour before the workout. That's all preference. But that post-workout, that's a meal. It's not, even if you do a shake, it doesn't have to be fucking directly after the workout. Matter of fact, I usually recommend fasting for a certain period of time afterwards with most of my clients, unless that's somebody who really needs to gain weight and is very thin. But, this pre- and post-workouts are not as important as you think for certain... Okay, let me break that down a little bit. It's not important as you think for certain things. It's kind of the opposite. For fat loss, I think you should fast. For muscle gain, I think you should go ahead and eat right after. But that's a meal. That counts as your meal for the day. Okay, so that goes towards your macros, and if you're eating 5 meals a day, that's one. You got 4 meals for the rest of the day spread out evenly. It's not post-workout, nothing gets counted because you've worked out. It's not because, it doesn't count because it's a shake. Fuck that. Everything that's a macronutrient as a calorie is counted in your fucking diet. And this is where people go wrong. Now, the pre-workout meal, I eat about an hour before my workout. I like to have 2 or 3 meals in me before I train. I usually just feel better. I don't know if it's energy-wise, because I've been on keto diets, and if I have my regular keto meals, I still feel better. I feel better when I have the food in me. Now, to me, more important before the pre-workout is the pre-workout shake or the pre-workout supplement. Something with caffeine, something with beta-alanine, citrulline, all these different pre-workout things in it that stimulate you to push harder in the gym. Okay, that's more important to me than the pre-workout nutrition, because post-workout you can take care of whatever you lost pre-workout, or if you didn't have the food in you before your workout. As long as you hit the gym hard and you train hard, when you eat your post-workout meal, your body's going to soak that up like a sponge if it needs it. So it's going to be covered at the end after the workout, which doesn't seem very bro-like, because a lot of bros say you have to have your pre-workout meal and then your post-workout shake, and then you have the opportunity window. Like, I don't believe those things. I mean, I haven't seen them to be true over the things I've seen and done in the last 25 years. So I hope this clears up a little bit about the difference between cutting and muscle building, or cutting and bulking, I guess you should say, and those pre and post workout meals, because it's they definitely make a difference, but not the way most people think they make a difference. Biowestertraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biowestertraining.com is the blog, and where this is the Setting the Record Straight Bicep, and we're out.